Hello, my name is Danielle Lorian. I'm the Artistic Director of the Moving Company at the University of Nebraska, Omaha. We're a modern dance company affiliated through the university, but housed not only here, but within the community of Omaha, Nebraska. Each fall, we do our auditions in order to find our company members and our apprenticeships. These come from both the community members here in Omaha as well as our college students here at the university. I am here to welcome you to our 90th anniversary. We have an amazing legacy for this company and through the university, and I hope that you will join me as we start to look through a little bit of that history and celebrate together with our 90th anniversary. Welcome to the history of the Moving Company, a 90-year legacy. Our history begins in 1932, when what was then the University of Omaha decided to start offering dance courses. These became so popular that by 1933, they were already adding intermediate and advanced classes to the curriculum. An offshoot of the popularity of these dance courses, the university also sponsored auspices, which was a dance club not only for students involved in the classes, but for other students on campus to have more experience in dance and more performance opportunities. Even from the start, the university was heavily involved in making sure that this program was set up for success. As a show of their support, the University of Omaha sent Ruth Diamond, who was then the director of auspices, to Columbia University, where she was able to see what modern dance looked like at a collegiate level. And then she brought that information back to Omaha in order to really set the foundation for not only auspices as a club, but would later become the Moving Company as a modern dance company. After Ruth left the company, Aileen Lockhart became the next director in 1945. Aileen was best known as a prolific writer for modern dance education. In fact, most of the universities around the country were using her text as the basis of their curriculum for modern dance. She wrote also on social dance, on tumbling, balance, but she was best known for her work on modern dance education. She brought that focus of education to the University of Omaha and to auspices as a club, but she really started to develop the company into a training program as well. Under Aileen's directorship, the company created dances of all kinds. Some were provocative, like their piece called Hail Führer on dictatorship, but in the same program, they had dances called Psalms on religious text. The company embodied the rebellious nature of modern dance and the classical aesthetics of other art forms of the time. Pre-auspices was a training program that Aileen Lockhart designed to build skills and prepare dancers to be performing members of auspices. Some of the members remained in pre-auspices throughout their time at the university, while others progressed into the auspices club. They choreographed, they trained, and learned modern dance technique. This precedence of having a pre-training program is still seen today in the apprenticeship program that the Moving Company has. In the late 1940s and into the 1950s, auspices has a designated men's group. This group performed with their female counterparts and also held offices for the club. But they took on special projects not only on campus, but in the city of Omaha. In the Arts and Sciences Hall, they performed pieces about men and dance, and they took those pieces into the community as well. There was articles in the archives about football players dancing to help their prowess in their sport. And the archives is full of stories about different male dancers and how they left a legacy with the company. This group was also bolstered by the fact that the university started requiring male students to take dance in 1957. This precedence is still seen today in the university, with majors like physical education that require their students to take a dance class as part of their major's curriculum. If it had not been for the women's PE department and drama department, Orchesis would have ended in the 1950s. 1952 was the last year that the company had a director. After that, the university supplied professors and fellows to serve as advisors for the company. They were more than just a body in this space. These advisors choreographed for the productions and really brought the university together to help make these performances happen. They reached out to other departments, like the art department, who worked on scenery for some of the performances, or the Women's Athletic Association and intramurals, who served as ushers. Had it not been for the university and all of those professors who gave time to advise for the company, it would have never continued through the 1950s. After a decade of having university advisors, Vera Lindahl came back to the company in 1964. Having previously danced with the company and been an assistant director, she now took on the role of director of Orchesis. And it was under her leadership that the company spent the next 30 years developing into what would eventually become the moving company. One of Vera's greatest assets as a director is that she also held positions for the National Dance Association. And her role with that organization was to gather information about different collegiate dance programs that she would publish as part of NDA's information to its members. This allowed her to connect to all different kinds of professors at different universities around the country. And she used those connections to really make Omaha a hot spot for modern dance. In the summer, she would have festivals where college students from around the country would come to take master classes. And she would bring in professors from other universities to hold master classes for Orchesis as well. When the time came that organizations in Omaha were really starting to bring in artists for the community, she worked with those organizations in order to allow those companies to come in and work with her dancers as well. This was an unprecedented exposure to companies from around the world that dancers in Omaha were getting because of these connections that she had and that she was continuing to make. In 1973, the biggest shift in Vera's directorship happened, and this is because she was instrumental in shifting the name from Orchesis to the moving company. And with that shift, it wasn't just a name change. This was an ideological shift from being a club that students were involved with to a company that the community could be involved with. This is the beginning of what we now know as the moving company of today. In 1994, Josie Meadle-Corbin took over as the director of the moving company. She had danced with the company and been an assistant director under Vera Lindahl, and she continued Vera's legacy in all of the community connections that she maintained and created in her time with the company. Lauren Kartulak-Bartels also stepped into the role in 1994 as the assistant director, and both of the women directed the company until 2015. Through her relationships in the Omaha community, Josie brought in African Culture Connection and the Omaha International Folk Dancers into the auspices of the moving company. She also supported clubs on campus, and she reached out into the community with opportunities for dance with programs like Reach For It. And she did countless site-specific works around the city of Omaha. It is because of these relationships that Josie and Lauren made that the company strengthened its ties to Omaha. In 2015, I took over as the director after Josie and Lauren retired, and Tamara Cardin stepped in as the assistant director with me. It has been vitally important to us to continue the legacy of the amazing women who have come before us, making sure that there are educational opportunities for those in the company and in the community. We offer master classes with different teaching artists that come through Omaha. We also offer an apprenticeship program for movers who audition for the company and still need some foundational modern dance knowledge in their bodies. We continue the relationships in the community, dancing Thriller at the Durham, being able to do different site-specific works around town. And we celebrate what we are doing not only in our company, but in the city of Omaha every spring with our showcase. This is a collaboration, and we want it to be. We want to celebrate the diversity of dance in our community. We want to educate our audiences on what is out there. We love getting to collaborate with the many groups that we see not only here performing with us, but that we get to go out into the community and work with. And we celebrate the voices that are here to share their ideas and thoughts through modern dance. It's exciting to know the history in which we come from. And it's even more exciting to think about where this history will take us next. Thank you for celebrating these 90 years with us. Thank you to the university for continually being a support year after year. Thank you to the Omaha community for providing opportunities. Thank you for the many groups that collaborate with us year in and year out. We are very excited about our legacy, and we are even more excited to see where the company goes in the future. And now, let's look at the images over the many years of this company. now that you've had a chance to look through the history with me, I hope that you'll join us for our 90th anniversary spring showcase. That is happening on May 4th at 2 p.m. here in the dance lab at the University of Nebraska, Omaha, in the Health and Kinesiology building, room 228. This show is packed full of current members, alumni, and we even brought in alumni guest choreographers, and we have company members who have choreographed pieces for this performance. It is definitely a show that you do not want to miss. We hope to see you there.